good day to you. I wanna show to you one of my games earlier. And guys, if you're not yet my subscribers, please follow my page or subscribe to my channel, so you will be notified whenever I will upload new videos. Okay, so this is one of my games earlier, and I like it because I see here, you know. Um, a problem once you are going to um, move your move out your queen early. So this is my game. I am playing black, so my opponent moved first because he's playing white. So my opponent went to e4. I responded e5, and then he is trying to open the trying to develop his knight, at the same time attacking my e4 e5 pawn. So I defended it by d6, d6, and then my opponent is trying to you know uh, to do the Italian opening. So his bishop is pointing or threatening my f7 pawn, and I tried to to block that by using my bishop. So it's okay because it's bishop to bishop. So according to them, don't exchange your bishop to knight except if there is a valid reason. So in this case, it's bishop to bishop, so it's okay. So my opponent take my bishop, and I take it back. So the problem here is double pawn in my position. But for me it's okay because I want to open the f file, so that in the future when I will in rook, when I will castle, then there is like the f file is open for my rook. So you will see that, you will see my purpose in the future. So what the opponent did is he is trying to exchange his or trade his pawn on d file, on d4. He moves his pawn to d4, wanted me to capture it. I didn't see any problem when if I will capture his pawn. So he would just take my pawn using his knight to d4. So it's not actually a problem. So I take it. He take it using his queen. So this is a problem because he is moving out his queen early. So that is vulnerable to attack. So what I did after, um, I am trying to win a tempo. So tempo, guys, is once you are going to is when you like attack a certain piece, and then the opponent will end up moving that piece repetitively or number of times. So we have the time to develop, while the opponent is like having like wasting his time to move that certain pieces, for in this case the queen. So the queen moves to c3, and what I did is I tried to exchange my d5 pawn. So try to exchange it because mm, I feel that I need to exchange it, so I can open my d file to to try to look for loopholes to attack his king, so I can prevent him from castling. So I offered my d pawn, or my d pawn, I move it to d5, and he accept the offer or the trade. So what I did after, of course, for for beginner, what they will do in this situation, they will try to move their knight or capture it back like this in this position. But what I did is that instead of doing that, I see some tactics here. Look at his king and his queen. They are on the same diagonal. And then if I will move this bishop of mine to b4, so he cannot capture my bishop because it's defended by this knight on c6. So if I will put it here, so basically his queen and his king is on the same diagonal. He cannot move his queen. He cannot capture my knight. He cannot capture my bishop because it's defended by my knight. So what he did, he castle. So he castle. He didn't win any material in this position. The most advisable thing or move, the most the move that you had to do is to take the bishop. At least you take something. You know already that you will lose your piece. Uh, if that's the case, then you need to do something to gain any material, right? So he should have taken. He should take supposedly my bishop. He should take my bishop. What he did what he did is he castle instead. So after that, I take his queen. He takes back using his knight. I take um his pawn. So my after taking his pawn, my idea here, my strategy here, is to trade all of our materials or all of our pieces to end game. So because I'm winning, I am up of material, so I'm on winning position. So what he did is he tried to to check on my king, but I can easily defend it by using my knight. And then he's trying to add more attackers on my knight, but I have two defenders or three defenders all in all. I have a knight on. I have two defenders all in all. I mean three. I have knight on c6. It can defend. It can it can capture and thing any piece that will capture my knight on e7. My queen is also there to defend the knight and my king as well. So what I did after is that I castle. So you now see the purpose why why I trade that I trade that bishop earlier. So there's like an open file on F file, right? So he captured it. So he should not capture it because he is down of material. So I capture it with my knight, and then he's trying to um, attack my pawn on d5. So basically he has two attackers, the rook and then the knight, and I have two defenders. So it's okay. But what I did, I overprotected my pawn on d5 just for positional play purposes because I cannot see any like good move. So he's trying to create a escape square for his king for future attack, and I try to defend my overprotect my knight on e7. So moving forward, so that if ever I will move this knight of mine, I can force to trade my rook. So in that way, I can execute my plan, my idea, which is to trade all the pieces that we have. So he goes on knight to g5, trying to go near my king for possible attack. I did is that I open my e file. I open it. I move my knight to e up to f5, trying to trade our materials. He didn't capture. He moved his knight to e6, hoping that he can go to c7 if I if ever I will do a mistake of moving my queen to a square that will not protect the c7 square. So what I did, since I see that, I move it on d6, because on d6 it threatens the knight, and I have two attackers, the e e8 rook and the queen on d6. I am attacking the knight on I'm attacking these two um, pieces are attacking the e6 knight. So that e6 knight is only defended by one rook. So basically, that is disadvantage on his end. And at the same time, the d6 that move also protect the c7 square. So his knight cannot go there on c7 to fork my two rooks. So let's see what is his response. So his response is trying to kick my knight. What I did is I sacrificed my knight. Yeah, he might um take my knight with his pawn on f2, but the position for him is very bad, because I know that consequently I can take that pawn, and then include the pawn on h3 and h4, g4. So that's bad for him. So what his response is, uh, he takes it. He took it, and then I take his pawn on g3, tracking his mm, king. He move his king, and then I take his pawn on h3, checking at the same time, and then he move it away. So I check it, then he goes back. I check it again, and then he goes back. I check it again, he goes back. In this case, or in this position, I'm already like worried maybe it will become a draw because of repetitive move. So what I did is I tried to look for options to checkmate my opponent. So I'm looking for tactics. So what I see is that when I will go on when my rook on e8 will go on f8, it will be a check. And then if I will move, if I will take it back, if ever his knight on e6 will take my rook on f8, will take it. If ever his knight will take my rook on f8, after I will check his king, and then I have the rook on a8 that can take back my rook, or can take his knight on f8. So that would be a check. His king cannot move to can move up because of the queen, and cannot move. It's literally a checkmate after. So I did execute it by going to f8, and then my opponent took my rook and checkmate. So that's how I play That's the disadvantage if you're going to move your queen early. Okay, so thank you so much for asking. I hope you learned something, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share it. Thank you.